Welcome back to the Cozy Cottage Homestead on Frugal and Thrifty Thursday. So I had to make a little trip to town in head of all the cold weather and take care of a few errands. So I stopped at a little thrift store that I've often stopped at through over the years. So I found some really good deals. So when I go in there, they make an announcement saying that all of their books were half off and their Christmas decorations were half off. I wasn't too intrigued by the Christmas decorations, but however, I was interested in the books. So I think I found some really good finds. Each one of these books, the market price on them were $29.95 each. They're hardback and they're newer. I believe they're 2018 was the print on it, and the one cookbook that I'll show you in a second was 2016. So these were very newer type books, and they also look like they have never even been opened. And then I also found this cute little serving tray. Of course, it's red, kind of a reddish maroonish color. So I definitely like red stuff in my kitchen, and these little serving trays are small enough for a small family, but yet make the food look really good on the little serving trays. Always try to make sure my food looks good before I serve it. So I'm always looking for some nice little trays like this to set the food out on. So definitely my color and my style. So these books, really cool. They are talking about everyday cooking, everyday living, and from a diabetic living perspective. Now, these are newer type books than what the old diabetic books have. They use a lot of sugar substitutes, which we know all these substitutes aren't healthy. And these books and these recipes, from what I've seen from flipping through, has more of using natural ingredients such as your fruits and vegetables to naturally sweeten your food to give it good flavor. So I've always eaten really healthy, but not necessarily just for diabetics. But I think it's important just to eat healthy in general anyway, whether you're a diabetic or not. So I think having some good books on hand with some different types of recipes is a really good idea, because after all, ladies, we are the ones, at least in my house, preparing at least 90-95% of the meals for my family. So, and I would like for their health to reflect the types of food that they are eating, which this is really amazing because a lot of this is your proteins and your vegetables. So during garden season, that is wonderful. And then this one was actually called A Holiday Cooking, Diabetic Living. We've already flipped through it, and oh my goodness, there are so many wonderful recipes in this book. So these books would have been $30 each had I bought them brand new. I only paid $1 each. So I got 4 books for $4. It would have cost me, what, $120? So I think that's very frugal and very thrifty. So I just thought I would share my little treasures that I found. All of this stuff really looks good, y'all. I'll definitely be trying some of these recipes and seeing how they turn out and sharing them with y'all throughout next year. And then this one is not a diabetic cookbook, but y'all know I grow those sweet potatoes. So if I grow it, I'm always looking for more ways to cook it. This book has some amazing recipes. This one here just happened to open. They're roasted, and you cook them halfway first, and then you put them on the grill. We cannot wait to try those. Those look absolutely amazing. There's several desserts. They even have a amazing looking sweet potato cheesecake. Oh my goodness, it looks like you could just dive right in. I even seen one recipe where you could use the sweet potatoes and mix it into your batter to batter onion rings. that looked quite amazing too. Let's see if the cheesecake recipe will just flip up. I'm telling you, it'll make you want to just dive right in. Oh, I'm going to have to find it. I must have skipped it. Let's try this again. Let's see. That was a sweet potato coconut bar. Now, I can tell you, I'm definitely going to make that one. Sweet potato pie. But I'm looking for the cheesecake one. I will definitely be making that one. That was the onion rings. Well, hang on one second. Let me find it and I'll be right back. Okay, here it is. Pecan crusted sweet potato cheesecake. Oh my. Anything with the pecan crust, even graham cracker crust, but if you've never had the pecan crust in any of your pies, oh my. You don't know what you're missing. It is so delicious and so good. I've had pumpkin cheesecake, which I wasn't going to say out loud because next year on my It's a Great Pumpkin recipe, I was going to share that pumpkin cheesecake recipe with y'all. And yes, it has the pecan crust as well. So just thought I would come on here real quick. We are expecting this nasty cold weather. But I want to just come on here and do a Frugal and Thrifty Thursday. I was busy yesterday, so I missed my walkie-talkie. But we're just going to be staying home, staying warm, and watching out for the weather, watching out for the animals. All the animals have really nice shelters, and just have to go out there and make sure that they can get to their water and crack the water. But other than that, we're doing pretty good. We are ready for the holidays, even if it means we have to stay home this year because the roads are going to be extremely dangerous. But luckily, I got out early. Last weekend, I went and delivered some of my presents to family and friends. I did end up mailing out, I think, about 30 Christmas cards. Used to mail out a whole lot more, but that list has gotten really tapered down to just a few people. I did reach out to a few of you of my homesteaders. I did not get everyone's address. The ones that I talk to most often, I did get their address. I think I've decided against getting a P.O. box. I've done a lot of research on it, a lot of studies on it. It seems like people get a lot of spam, junk mail, and folks wanting you to do reviews. They kind of take advantage of you if you have a P.O. box, and they just randomly send you a bunch of junk. So I decided I didn't want to do that right now at this point. My channel is still pretty small. So as time goes on, we'll see how that goes and what direction my channel goes in. But right now, I think I'm just going to keep it like it is. Quite content with the way it is right now. But these books, I could not go wrong. Even like I said, if you're not a diabetic, there's still some really good recipes in here. And I love the idea that they don't use a lot of sugar substitute. They simply use natural ingredients to sweeten it. And of course, just like anything else, you will have to pay attention to your portion sizes, which is pretty much the key in life anyway, is portion sizes, especially if you do have health problems. But y'all, could not go wrong with these books. These recipes all look quite delicious. And that was the other thing that got me on these books, was a lot of books, especially diabetic or special diet books, you don't usually have the ingredients on hand. These, from what I've seen, and I've done flipped through them so many times in the last 24 hours, most of the stuff is stuff that you would have on hand. So that is cool. I don't like recipes where you have to go run out and find this item and go run out and find that item. So this works good for me. If you have your own garden and vegetables, a lot of this stuff is pretty much stuff you would have on hand. Those look absolutely wonderful. It's probably not your traditional type of taco. It's probably got something more healthier in it. Looks like it does. A lot of these recipes use ground turkey, ground chicken. So it's very doable. We've looked through all of the recipes. Everything looks wonderful. Definitely some stir-fried vegetables and cauliflower and bell peppers. And I think it's got chicken breast in there. Looks very, very good. Alright, y'all, so don't forget about shopping at your local thrift stores. I usually go in there with an open mind. I don't always know if I'm going to find anything because my house is small. I don't really need a lot of stuff, so I just get what I have room for in my little house. And if I don't use things, I will give them away, or I mean, if it's not something that's useful in my house, I don't like to keep it because it just takes up space, and I think that helps you to be more disciplined when you live in a smaller place, so that you depend on the things that you actually need, and you don't just have a lot of stuff that's just pretty to look at. Now, I do have some stuff that's pretty just to look at, but most of my stuff that I have in my home and around my homestead is helpful and useful. And that type of discipline keeps you from spending money on unnecessary items. So that's my frugal tip on that one. And for all my southern friends, I know y'all know the oil lamps as hurricane lamps here in the south, but don't forget about those oil lamps. If you use the Klean Heat type of oil, it will actually give you heat in your home as well as light. I like to use these during the winter time because it does add heat and light when it's cold. Thank the Lord if you have a wood heater, wood stove burner, fireplace, because if you don't have it, I hope you have a backup source for heat, such as a buddy heater, or even the oil lamps help heat the room. We do have a fireplace. Well, it's not a fireplace, it's a wood heat stove. It looks like a fireplace, but it's situated in the corner in the big house. So if we do lose power, it's just right next door. We already have firewood stacked and ready to go. Once we add on to our little house, we already do have another wood burning stove for it, or a heater. But I do have a gas stove in my house, so if it gets extremely frigid and cold and we lose power, I will still have my gas stove that I could light a burner. Luckily, I don't have any small children, so just remember to be safe if you do light a burner, to crack a window open. I know that sounds stupid because it's cold, but you need to crack a window open, and the same thing if you choose to use a buddy heater. I want my people to stay safe and be aware and pay attention, and make sure that your oil lamps and your candles or whatever you're burning in your house to stay warm should you lose power is in a safe place away from children and pets, so that no one has to deal with any horrible tragedies this holiday season. So I hope everyone stays warm. I am going to be participating in the Dipcember. I'm going to try to get that uploaded and ready. My day was for Christmas Eve, so hopefully I'll still have power and connection to the internet so that I can get that uploaded. If not, it may be a little late, but it'll be there. Either the day of, day after, whenever. I definitely have already made my video for the Dipcember, so I think y'all would enjoy it as well. So I hope everyone has a Merry Christmas and a happy and safe New Year. I don't know if I'll be back on here before the first of the year or not. Depends on the weather and if we have internet service and if we have power or not, which power is not really going to stop me from making a video, but I think I'm just going to take a little break after I do my Dipcember, and then we'll be right back with everything that we have planned for the new year. So I do genuinely, from the bottom of my heart, hope and pray that everyone has a wonderful Merry Christmas and a safe and happy New Year. So farewell, Homestead family, friends, and neighbors from the Cozy Cottage Homestead.